Before we begin, I want to acknowledge something that may feel uncomfortable to hear. You have been called a victim. Maybe you've rejected that word. Maybe people around you have tried to correct you, saying things like, "You're not a victim, you're a survivor," as if calling yourself a victim makes you weak, as if admitting what was done to you somehow means you're giving up your power. But here's the truth that no one wants to talk about. You are a victim. You were stalked, harassed, terrorized. That is not a reflection of you. That is a reflection of the person who chose to do this. And owning that truth does not make you weak. It makes you powerful. Because when you claim the word victim, you shift the blame off of yourself and onto the one who deserves it, the perpetrator. And when the system sees you as a victim, everything changes. Because victims have rights. Victims have legal standing. Victims get heard. That's why today, we're going to talk about why we own the word victim and why we should never be ashamed of it. The world has tried to twist the meaning of this word, to make it something shameful, something disempowering. But that is not the truth. The truth is, becoming a victim means you stood in the fire and refused to burn. It means you fought. And you should never, ever be ashamed of that. Before being labeled victims in the justice system, we were ignored, dismissed, told we were overreacting. But the moment the system recognized us as victims, that changed. Because being an official victim means the crime is real. It means what happened is recognized. It means we pulled ourselves together in a nightmare. That takes strength. That takes courage. That is power. Becoming a victim doesn't mean we are broken. It means we fought. And we should never, ever be ashamed of that. For those who have fought to reclaim their peace, we know there is immense value and strength to be gained in the fight. You have an opportunity to use this time, this experience, to grow in ways you never imagined you could. You will handle stresses and situations beyond anything you ever thought you could endure. But unlike your opponent, you are blessed by the light of truth. You can handle yourself with strength and grace, even when traumatized and ravaged by this war. Your weapon is truth, and truth is an empowering force. You can use this to rise, while your opponent falls. Even before charges are pressed, perpetrators spiral. They may think they are in control, but their own actions pull them down. Their need for control consumes them. But victims rise. Because being a victim is an opportunity for transformation. Right now, you are being tested. And if you hold yourself together, if you find even the smallest way to pull yourself up, even when everything feels hopeless, you will come out of this as a completely different person. Stronger, wiser, unshakable. Because when the war is won, you won't just be standing. You will be a warrior, wounded maybe, scarred, definitely, but forged in fire, your sword of truth at your side. That is what's waiting for us on the other side of this battle. This is not toxic positivity. This is a sacred truth. Living in this nightmare is unbearable, but there is an opportunity now to be forged into unbreakable steel. And to do that, we must protect our inner world. Because here's what perpetrators don't want victims to know. They want us consumed with hate, anger, and despair. They want us exhausted, bitter, helpless. Because that makes us easier to break. That makes us easier to control. But we can rip those roots out before they take hold. Anger and hate grow inside of you. You and you alone are responsible for what you allow in your inner garden. This hallowed ground is your stronghold. You must constantly work during this time to keep your stalkers, invasive weeds of hate from this place. And this is truly the last front in the war. The stalker's ultimate prize. They want you with them in their spiral, but we can break free. And when we do, they lose. Because we will not break. We will not be controlled. We will stand in this fire and come out transformed. We deserve to call ourselves victims, because victim means we survived the crime, because victim means we stood up and said no, because victim means the world has to take our case seriously. And when the time comes, when the fight is won, when justice has been served, then we will be survivors. But until then, own the truth. We are victims, and we are warriors. If this video helped you, subscribe now and check out our full Stalking Survivor Handbook. Because we deserve more than survival. We deserve justice.